The other question I have is, when you do this work, or any life-changing work, and you move in your direction, then you don't harmonize somewhat with those that you're necessarily really close to, or maybe your selected mate, or other people perhaps. You're in a different place, though you have to take responsibility because you attracted those people into where you were at the time and the place and the thought that you weren't at the time. Very then difficult to work in the new vantage point because they're not with you and yet they're in your world every day. And I wanted to address, how do you manage that? How do you allow
give us an example.
Well, for example, your own partner you may be married to or you're with, you've chose them. You somehow had Source put you together deliberately.
You offered a vibration and law of attraction matched it, and so there you are. And now what?
You're in a certain place that is very different than your partner, and it's very difficult then to have moments of joy, many moments of joy, or a sense of being on the same page.
Well, here's the thing. We like that you acknowledge that you came together because you were a vibrational match, otherwise you would not be together. And then, in your example, you focused differently than the other, and some say I grew and the other one didn't, or we grew apart, or whatever, but now we're not in the same place. And what we want you to understand, we sort of started here with the first question today, is that if you will pick out the things that you like most about this person and concentrate on them by writing them down and thinking about them as you are lying in your bed before you go to sleep, and letting them be a bigger part of your awareness so that you train yourself into a more vivid activation of the very best parts of them. What happens is law of attraction then delivers to you more things that match those things. When you take a person and all of their characteristics and you just observe them in their fullness, so you observe the things you like and you observe the things you don't like, then you just keep holding all of it close to you. And law of attraction just keeps giving you opportunities to experience the whole of all of this. But when you train yourself to selectively sift from this individual the things that you like most, then what happens is those things begin appearing more while the things that you're not so active about begin fading off. And if you carry that to an extreme, in other words, once you get really, really good at that, if this person is really, really, really not mostly a vibrational match to you, then that person vibrates out of your experience while someone who is a closer vibrational match to you vibrates into your experience. It isn't something that you have to micromanage. Law of attraction is taking care of it. Most people do not end their old relationships and begin their new relationships vibrationally, which is really the way we would teach it. Instead, they bang around, and in their discomfort, then they take action, like our friend says, I'm going to go have this surgery. They take the action without cleaning up the vibration, and then they take the same vibration with them that was present in the last relationship, and then they get another relationship that's just like it, and then another one that's just like it. Or they take no action, they just put up with it, and they say, we're not on the same wavelength, but I've made a commitment here, and we have property together, and we have children together, and so the path of least resistance is to stay, even though I'm not happy here. And we say, the path of least resistance is to get into vibrational alignment with who you are. And law of attraction will carve out for you wonderful relationships when you do that. We have to say, most people don't take the time to do that. Most people just observe what's before them and complain about it. But when you start taking the time to clean your vibration up, every relationship that you have will improve right away. And to the degree that you give any of these people your attention, law of attraction will find more and more and more and more common ground for you to be together. If, let's say that you want this and the other wants something entirely different, and you concentrate on what you want, and the other concentrates on what the other wants. So two people clearly concentrating on two different things but living together. The universe will find a way of satisfying you both while you live together. You wouldn't feel competitive. You wouldn't feel dependent on each other. You'd be two happy creators living in the same space and appreciating your lives together. But what usually happens is this one wants something different than this one. So this one, instead of being clear about this and a vibrational match to this one is looking over there at what that one wants and worrying about it. So now this one is not a pure vibration to what this one wants. This one's got scattered energy. And this one's usually doing the same thing. So now you got two people, neither one a vibrational match to what they want, so neither one getting what they want, and both of them blaming the other one for why it's not going better. So you don't have to wait for this one to figure it out. You just have to focus on what you want and say to yourself, it's none of my business. It's none of my business. That's none of my business. That's none of my business. And make the things that feel good to you your business. And the universe will start delivering to you. And you can even include things that you want about this other person in your intentions. And as long as you don't contradict your desire with what they're, for example, let's say, Let's really take an extreme of this. Let's say that you see something in another and they're not even aware of you. And you focus upon them with such pure intent. You use them as your model of what you want. The universe is going to bring that to you, if not through that person, through another. But if you're fixated on the fact that this one that you want won't come to you, now that's the vibration that you got going on, and now you can't get what you want. Where if you would just focus upon what you want, the universe would find a way to bring it to you every single time, no exceptions. So what we're really saying to you is, don't give anyone, even those who live up close to you, the credit or the blame for what's happening in your life. You deserve all of the credit or blame, however you want to assign it, for everything that's happening to you. You even get credit for how the person who lives with you speaks to you. You get credit for how the person who lives with you looks at you. It seems like they ought to be controlling that. But everything that happens to you, you are attracting from them. And when you get that, you'll stop blaming them and you'll feel powerful. And in your personal empowerment, you'll feel good. And then they'll have to be nice to you or they'll have to go somewhere else. Law of attraction will not keep someone close to you that's different than the vibration you have about them.
Very interesting. Okay, on that.
So you want to say to everyone who lives with you, I deserve you. When someone's rude to you, say to them, I expected that. Some level of me, I'm more a vibrational match to that aspect of you than to any other aspect of you. That's why I get that so much from you. So I'm going to clean up my vibration so that you can be nicer to me.
Is there something about that that has to do then with self-sabotage?
Well, it's all about that. It's all about that. You get the credit and the blame. Everything is done to self by self. All of it, because no one else can think for you. And the thing that makes it a little tricky is that before you consciously were thinking about things like this, when you were observing conditions and you observed someone who really behaved in a way that made you feel good, so you felt good. And then you observed someone who really behaved in a way that made you feel bad, so you felt bad. And then you gave them credit for how you feel. Because you were leaving out the fact that your vibration is what brought them each to you, you see. But when you start taking ownership of everything that happens in your experience, then instead of having a fit when something doesn't go well, you appreciate it because it's evidence of a vibration that you didn't know was present before they showed up. And once you're aware of it, then you can do something about it. You can't do something about something that you're unaware of, you see.
So they're your checkpoint.
Everything that manifests, that's a good way of saying that. Everything that manifests is evidence of your vibrational stance. Everything that manifests. And so the question that we want to put to you is, do you want to be aware after manifestation or before manifestation? Before. Much easier to clean up your vibration before you move in together. It's much easier to clean up your vibration before the disease manifests in your body, but it doesn't matter. You can do it at any time. once you understand that it is yours to do.